There's something in the air tonight, like the world holding its breath before her words arrive. My heart beats differently now that she wants to talk to me again. It's not just a conversation, it's a return, a soft whisper between destinies that have been aching for the same melody. The silence that once felt like a locked door suddenly swings open, and I can almost hear her laughter echoing through the spaces I've kept empty for her. She doesn't know how much her message changed the shape of my night, how it melted the frost that had gathered around my thoughts. I keep rehearsing what I'll say, but deep down, I know it's not words she needs. It's the truth that lives quietly behind them. She wants to talk to me now, and that small sentence feels like forgiveness, dressed in hope, walking back through the rain toward where we left our hearts waiting. I never knew anticipation could feel like this, a mixture of joy, fear, and disbelief swirling together in the same heartbeat. My phone screen glows, and her name looks like light itself, reminding me of everything I tried to forget. For days I told myself she'd never come back, that silence was her final language. Yet here we are, caught again between courage and regret. She wants to talk to me now, and that's all I needed to remember what warmth feels like. I don't know if she'll come with apologies or laughter, but I'll take either, maybe both. The world seems suddenly smaller, like every star is leaning closer to listen. I imagine her voice, hesitant at first, then softening, as the space between us disappears word by word. I don't even care who broke who anymore. All I know is that something beautiful is finding its way back, and I can't stop smiling at the thought of hearing her say my name again. Sometimes love doesn't need a grand reason to return. It just knows when the time has softened enough for hearts to be brave again. I think of how we used to talk for hours about nothing, for minutes that felt like lifetime. Maybe she misses that too, the safety of being understood without needing to explain. She wants to talk to me now, and that means something inside her remembers. Maybe she caught herself thinking of me in the quiet moments between sleep and sunrise, where honesty has no disguise. I like to believe love never really leaves. It just takes detours to learn patience. Tonight feels like the universe finally whispering, try again. I'm not the same person I was when she left, and maybe she isn't either, but maybe that's the point. Maybe love grows best when it's been watered by distance and time. I wonder what she's feeling right now. Is her heart racing like mine? Is she afraid I'll sound different, colder, too careful? I won't be. I'll sound like I always have when I talk to her. Gentle, calm, but secretly trembling inside. She wants to talk to me now, and I want to listen more than I want to speak. Because sometimes the way someone says hello tells you everything their apology could. Maybe we'll talk about the small things first. The weather, our work, the shows we watched alone. But beneath it all, the truth will hum quietly, waiting to be acknowledged. We'll feel it in every pause, in every almost confession. I'll let her lead the way back to the place where our laughter used to live. It's strange how after all this time, I still remember the rhythm of her silence better than anyone else's voice. I can still picture her eyes, even through the memory of goodbye. There was always something in them that said, this isn't the end. Maybe that's why I never stopped hoping, even when it hurt to. She wants to talk to me now, and that means the story isn't over. It's just turning a softer page. I've learned not to rush the moments that matter. I'll let her speak, even if her words tremble. I'll listen to the spaces between them, where her heart hides its truest meanings. Sometimes the best way to love someone is to simply let them find their way back, without pressure, without fear. Tonight I'll be her calm. I'll be her reminder that forgiveness doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be real. And maybe in her voice, I'll hear the sound of everything we lost finding its way home. There's a beauty in the second chance we never expected. Maybe we had to fall apart to learn the value of the peace. I've spent so long imagining what I'd say if she came back. And now that she has, words feel too small. She wants to talk to me now, and all I want is to make her feel safe again. Maybe I'll tell her how the sunsets still look like her laughter, how I still pause at songs she loved, how every place I go feels like it's waiting for her footsteps. I won't ask her why she left, because maybe she needed to. Love doesn't always make sense, it just survives. And sometimes, surviving is more romantic than perfection. If she's coming back, I'll open every door I once closed out of pride, because this time, I don't want to win an argument. I want to keep her. It's strange how easily memory forgives, when the heart still cares. I used to think we were done, that love had drawn its final line, but her message erased it instantly. She wants to talk to me now, and suddenly the ache that once lived in my chest feels like music warming up. Maybe love never died, it just slept quietly, waiting for her courage to wake it. When she speaks, I'll let my heart listen first, and my mind second, because logic never understood what we had. Only feeling did. I'm ready to hear her stories again, even the ones that don't involve me. I'm ready to laugh with her the way I used to, where every smile felt like sunlight through rain. Maybe this time we won't promise forever. Maybe we'll just promise honesty, and maybe that's enough. She doesn't know how much I missed her voice, how many times I replayed old messages just to hear her laugh. Now she wants to talk to me, and that means I don't have to replay echoes anymore. I'll have the real thing. I imagine her sitting somewhere, hesitating before hitting call, her fingers trembling the same way mine did when I saw her name appear. That shared fear, that fragile courage, that's love, isn't it? Not perfect, but persistent. I want to tell her that even in her absence, she was never gone from my world. Every decision, every dream, somehow traced back to her shadow. Maybe she'll hear that in my tone, or maybe she'll just feel it. Either way, tonight feels like destiny, giving us one last try. And this time, I won't let silence win. When love returns, it doesn't always announce itself. It arrives quietly, like a heartbeat remembered. I think that's what this moment is. Quiet redemption. She wants to talk to me now, and that means she trusts me enough to be vulnerable again. I don't take that lightly. I'll hold her words carefully, like fragile glass that once shattered between us. Maybe we won't fix everything tonight, but maybe we'll start to understand why it broke in the first place. That's how healing begins, not by forgetting, but by remembering differently. If love is truly patient, then this conversation is proof, because after all the time apart, after all the nights of wondering and wishing, here we are, two souls choosing to speak again instead of walk away. I can already tell the stars are going to feel closer tonight. There's something sacred about knowing she thought of me, not in anger, not in longing, but in peace. She wants to talk to me now, and I want to meet her there in the middle of everything we've learned, and everything we still don't know. Maybe this talk won't be dramatic, maybe it'll be gentle, quiet, full of small laughter and deep pauses. And maybe that's exactly what love sounds like after surviving the storm. I'll tell her I never stopped believing in the version of us that was kind, that I still see her as the same soul who once made my world bright. And if she wants to stay this time, I'll make sure she never doubts that she belongs here with me. Somewhere between letting go and holding on, we found our way back to this moment. She wants to talk to me now, and it feels like a sunrise I've been waiting for too long. I don't know what tomorrow holds, but tonight, I'm thankful. Thankful that she reached out. Thankful that love, in its quiet resilience, refused to die. Maybe this isn't the end or the beginning. It's something in between, a continuation written in forgiveness. Whatever we say, I'll mean it. Whatever she feels, I'll honor it. Because love, after all, isn't about perfection. It's about presence. And right now she's here again. And that's all I ever wanted. The universe must have listened, because finally, after all the storms and silences, she wants to talk to me now.